Hello, and welcome to or back to my library. Today we're going over all the books that I want to read in the month of April. As you can see behind me by the empty shelves, I am moving very soon. So while I don't think it'll take me a super long time to unpack, I'm just going to play it safe and I'll probably be relying pretty heavily on my library this month. I've been living in this house for like 5 years, which is by far the longest that I've lived anywhere in my entire adult life. I used to be like a borderline minimalist because I moved so often. I moved, I think, 7 times in the span of 6 years. And so because I was moving so often, I just didn't bother getting things. Pretty sparse living, but since I've been here for so long, of course things pile up, and now moving is horrible. So while in the past it hasn't taken me that long to unpack and get organized, I've never had this much stuff to have to unpack before, so I don't know how quickly I'll have my new bookshelf set up at the new place. I'm just going to utilize my library for the majority of this month and we'll go from there. But anyways, let's get into the books, starting with my book clubs and challenges, which I have very few of this month, only 2 actually. So for the catch-up book club hosted by Becca in the Books, we are reading The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne, which is book 2 in the Bloodsworn Saga series, trilogy, whatever it is, which is a Norse Viking-inspired epic fantasy series, which I'm loving. Hi, Tony. This is going to be a carryover from March. I've already started it, but I'm not going to get anywhere near finishing it in the next few days. I think right now, at the time of filming this, I am only like 10% of the way through. And when it comes to carryovers in my stats, if I read more than half of the book in the month prior, then I'll count it towards that month's stats. But I'm definitely not going to get more than halfway through this book in the next like 2 days, especially with moving. So I'm just going to count it towards April's stats. But yeah, so that's for the catch-up book club, which is my only book club book of this month. And my challenge read for this month is just for the buzzword challenges. I am trying to pick one book that covers both the regular buzzword as well as the covers challenge. The April buzzword challenge is ordinal numbers, so things like first, second, third, that kind of thing. And the covers challenge is to have accessories on the cover. So I'll be going with The Seventh Veil of Salome by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. I know literally nothing about this book. I think it's a historical noir, I'm pretty sure, but I know nothing about the plot or the details. I just love this author, so of course I want to read it. And I kind of want to go into it fully blind and just see what I think of it. I don't think there's any fantasy element to it at all, which is not usually my thing, but once in a while I do enjoy it. And again, I love this author, so I'm sure at the very least I'll enjoy the writing style. Getting into my yearly reading goals, I would normally pick out of my backlist jar that has all of the oldest books on my TBR that were added in 2021, but obviously that jar is packed up right now. I just went through my Storygraph TBR myself and picked a book that was added in 2021, and I think I'm going to go with Baba Yaga's Assistant, which is a graphic novel by Marika McCoola, I think is the author's name. I could be saying that wrong. And it follows the assistant to Baba Yaga. Shocking, I know. I love mythology stories, and I'm especially a fan of Baba Yaga. I've loved, I think, every single story that I've read that is inspired by Baba Yaga, so I expect this one to be no different. And it's been quite a while since I've read a graphic novel as well, so that'll be nice for a change. My nonfiction pick for this month, I didn't end up getting to Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall-Kimmerer last month. I read a different nonfiction instead, so I'm just going to move this one over to April instead. Same with my translated book pick for the month. I did not get to Horsefly in March, so I'm just going to put that onto the April TBR and go from there. I don't think I read any translated books in March, so I'll have to play some catch up, but that is okay. My intimidating book of the month is going to be The Hunger of the Gods, which I know is supposed to be for March, but I'm counting it for April instead. I really don't have the energy to read a second gigantic scary book right now, so I'm just picking the one. A book off of my own shelf, which is something that I need to do more frequently. I would like to read Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. I've read the novella spin-off book in this series and absolutely loved it, and I've been wanting to get to the actual duology, just haven't gotten around to it, but it has been calling my name, so I think I'm going to go with this one. It is a young adult, so I am a little bit hesitant with that, but I did like this author's writing style, and I loved the world of the series from the novella, so I think I'll still like it. I hope so. I own both of the books, so fingers crossed I do like it. And then for my sequel, my goal is to try and get through all of the series that I started in 2025 or before, and I'm once again putting Wings of Shadow by Nicki Preto on this TBR. I still haven't gotten to it. I just need to finish that book. I have one book left in the series, and then I can cross it off, but just haven't gotten around to it yet because it is a very large book and I just haven't really been in the mood for it. So hopefully this is the month where that happens. Fingers crossed. I only have one NetGalley arc left right now, which is Bochica, which is a book that was released in 2025, but for some reason NetGalley gave it to me a few months ago. No idea why, but I'll take it. I don't mind. And this one says it's a real-life Latin American haunted mansion, a murky labyrinth of family secrets, a young aristocratic woman desperate to escape her past. And it's for fans of Mexican Gothic and The Shining. Sounds great to me. That's all that I need to know. For some content that I have planned, I'm once again putting on Happy Endings and Satisfaction Guaranteed onto this TBR. I didn't get a chance to read those books for a video last month, so hopefully this month I'll be able to do that. One of them I have on hold from Libby, and it should be arriving sometime in April, maybe in May, but I'm hoping it'll be in April. But I want to read these two books as part of a little vlog where I read books that are set in a adult toy store. As somebody who used to work in one, I thought it'd be a fun thing to read those two books back to back. And then for a different vlog that I want to do, these are the only two books that I have physically with me right now, but I would like to read Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft and The Lies of Lamora by Scott Lynch, because these two books I had in my unhaul pile. I've had a box in my closet for like 2 years of books that I just hadn't gotten around to getting rid of yet. I've taken them off my shelf, but I don't drive, so getting a very heavy box of books out of my house is a bit of a challenge for me, so they just ended up sitting in my closet for a couple years, but I was finally able to sell them online, and somebody came to my house to pick them up. But before I gave them the box, I did go through it a little bit, and these two I decided to rehaul, so I want to read both of them this month, hopefully, to see if they were worth the rehaul. And then finally, for content, I would like to start one more vlog project that'll probably take me a couple of months to complete, but I wanted to do a vlog where I read new books by old favorite authors that I haven't read from in a few years. And the first book that I want to read for that vlog project is The Salvation Gambit by Emily Skrutskie, who I used to love and adore. I'd read almost all their books. I just never got around to any of their newest releases in the last maybe like 5 years or so. It's been a long time. So I'm going to read this book for that vlog project, maybe a couple others. We'll see what happens, but I'm at least going to start there. And then finally, just some things that I am maybe in the mood for this month. I was scrolling through my Storygraph TBR and just looking for things that caught my eye. One of them being The Genesis of Misery by Neon Yang. I've had this book on my TBR for so long, and I have no idea why I haven't gotten to it yet, because it sounds like it's so my thing. It's a queer sci-fi space opera sort of thing. I've heard nothing but incredible things about it, and I desperately want to read it, so hopefully this is the month where that happens. I'm also going to put Seasonal Fears by Shauna Maguire on this TBR, because I read the first book in that series like 2 years ago, and then I've never even thought about picking up the sequel, so I need to put it onto an actual TBR to make myself think about it more often, and maybe I'll finally get to it. And then William by, I think it's Mason Cole, maybe? I heard Kayla over at Books and Lala talking about this author's other book, Exiles, recently, and it reminded me that I've had William on my TBR for years, and maybe it's time to finally get to that book. And lastly for this TBR is Feybound by Sarah El-Arifi. Springtime always makes me want to read fairy books. I was looking for a fairy book and saw this one there, and I loved the Final Strife series, so I figured let's finally maybe get around to this book at long last. But yeah, those are the books that I want to read in April. Who knows how many of these will actually happen. I'm going to be very busy in the month of April with all the unpacking and organizing and all that fun stuff. I'm also in a weird mood right now where like I'm not really in the mood for anything. Maybe I'm starting to slump a little bit. I have no idea, but either way, these are the books that I'm hoping to get to in April. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, and also let me know which books you're planning on reading in April. I'd love to hear all about them. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.